What is up, guys? It's me, Jude, back again for another episode of Jude Interviews. This is episode 5 and it's the first episode of November, so I'm very excited. And today I have a very wonderful, amazing special guest on. He's from a wonderful band who have had radio plays on Radio X, on Frank Skinner's on Absolute Radio, Amazing Radio, BBC Introducing, and as well as RTE2 in Ireland and Sirius XM in the USA. It is Ben from Regent. Now, Ben, I bet you me reading all of those out, you were probably shocked yourself.
Yeah, kind of. If you read the TV list out, I'd probably be shocked. Yeah.
Oh, well, welcome to Jude Interviews. Thank you for choosing to sit down with me today. Now, one of the questions I have is, as it's you representing your band today, I want to know what got you guys into music and what got you into music especially, and who started the band.
So I started the band. I actually had a lineup going back 2017, but our manager passed away, so I had a
Oh,
little bit of time out, and then I started the new lineup in 2000, and I think it was early 2019.
all right.
Like music wise, I was writing songs at school, like 14 years old, in
Mm.
in music classes at school. Didn't really think anything of it. Didn't really think much to it. And then I started quite late actually, in the sense of starting bands. I started getting into bands sort of like 21, and then I'd done a couple of like joined a couple of covers bands, just sort of messing around. And then I realised I like writing songs, and that's my strength from singing and stuff. So what I did is set up Regent basically in 2017, and then shortly after that we got signed by Music Management USA, um,
Wow.
by a guy called Bruce, who was John Lennon's publicist back in the day. So he's quite an old fella, but it looked
Yeah,
to
he
be
probably
good.
knew his stuff.
Yeah, it looked to be good. And then we was going to support Paul Weller, who was going to do all sorts of stuff, and then he passed away out of
Oh.
nowhere. So I ended up having a breakout, and then
Mm.
basically started with the new lineup, and it's been better than ever, really.
Mm.
Basically,
So,
pretty much it,
yeah.
mate. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, sorry to hear that. And once again, this man has left such a legacy for you and your band. So, absolute big up to him. Like, well done for him creating you guys, because once again, without him, you guys wouldn't be where you are now. So, you just got to
Yeah,
thank him,
yeah,
innit? Yeah.
yeah.
Now,
Exactly that.
yeah. Mm. Now, I have been listening to your new song, Liberation, and it is so nice and grungy. Like, it's basically what I say on every interview. I like to put the song to something from a film or a TV show, because I'm a massive TV buff and a massive film buff. Like, I did media production, everything, and I can see this song being something on like a pub fight or a club fight, or something to do with something like something to do with, I can't get, I basically can't get the words out, but something to do like really grungy and something really cool, and it's giving Kingsman vibes. Have you watched Kingsman?
I have. Yeah, I think I watched the
Yeah,
first one. I haven't seen any others, but yeah, it's quite cool.
yeah. The pub scene, the pub scene from the first Kingsman, it reminds me of that, and it's just so amazing. So I want to know, what was the actual writing process to go around that? What was the actual writing process around it? How did you guys think of that song?
So I played some chords on the guitar on the acoustic. I've got quite used to. I mean, when I first started writing songs years ago, I started when you play an acoustic song or write an acoustic song or an acoustic, it's always acoustic. But as
Mm.
I've as I've got better writing songs, I know if it's going to turn electric or not.
Ah,
So
okay.
that's how it started, and I thought, now this needs a bit of distortion, a bit of wah wah, a bit of God, a
Mm.
bit of Godspeed on it. So yeah, so then I showed it to the guys, and then basically, Chris added the heavy wah wah because he's the lead guitarist, and then
Oh, okay.
Luke added his, distorted, river. It was just great, mate. Yeah, and then
Mm.
I didn't really think it was that much of a good song. I liked it, but not as much as some of the others. But it's actually
Oh,
turned out,
okay.
turned
Yeah.
out to be one of the best songs on the album. Just because I felt it was a little bit dark, but then it's not supposed to be dark. It's supposed to be, well, it's called Liberation. It's supposed to be like something
Mm.
beautiful coming from it. But
Yeah.
once it actually turned into, because I bring the songs to the table, and then we everyone adds their part on top, and that's what becomes the track. Sometimes you don't really know exactly what it's going to sound like, and then once I
Yeah, or
had
the
like
kind of direction it's going to go in.
we played it one time, Jude. Honestly, we played it once, and it was like we played it 1,000 times, and it was like, what the hell? And I was just absolutely gobsmacked of it, mate. So yeah, no, I'm
Mm,
really happy with it. It's a great song. It's a good album, actually. Yeah, yeah,
mm.
the album's really good. Comes out on 26th of April, so we've got to wait till next year. But it's fully
Oh,
recorded. It's all done. It's all done. It's all produced. It's just yeah, just doing the final bits. So
that's fair enough. And to be honest, next year's literally only around the corner. So
yeah,
April will fly by. It will completely come to April and we'll be listening. Everybody will be listening to it. It's nice that you brought it into your group and they've seen that it's something that you all want to play together. And you might think in your head, will it do well? Will they like it? And then everybody ends up loving it. And then you all put your own sort of spin on it. So it's really nice that you guys have worked as a team to make it. Yeah, I really like that.
and as we've
And
been working together more and more, that's how it's gone. You've hit the nail on the head, and once everyone had a day of magic, that's what makes it special. It's not just like, okay, I can write a song, all right, cool, but it's nothing without the other guys. It's
it's
absolutely
true.
nothing without the other guys, because once they all add what they what area they're good at, that's what takes it to that next level.
Yeah.
And it's not just, oh, he's wrote that, that's great. It's nothing like that. It's all five of us,
Mm.
makes this
And
band.
and listen to that song. It really shows. It really shows the passion you have behind it, which I just love about bands,
Thanks
because
so much,
like
mate.
like you said, it's just not one person. It's everybody all together. And when everyone's all together, like, not to be cringe or like cliche, but teamwork literally does make the dream work.
Of course it does, yeah, and it's the it's just it's the gelling together. It's the and that's what does it. If a band doesn't have that, then you might not notice it, but it doesn't always have that higher add.
Mm.
Whereas when everyone, like, the chemistry is the word I'm looking for. When everyone
Yeah.
has chemistry and they're all on the same level of it, it's just like no better feeling in the world.
Very, very true. Very, very true. Now, I want you to delve deep back right into your mind. Think many, many years ago to when you were maybe a tiny tot. Like, what was the first ever song that you ever made? It could have been the silliest thing you sang to your family, your friends. What was the first song you made?
Good question. So yeah, it was a really embarrassing one for me. So I was in school. I was 14 years. Was it 14 or was it 15? Well, it's 14 or 15 when you start, like, so you go on to your music class. I chose
Yeah,
music.
yeah.
So I'd be what? Would I be 16? No. See, it's like
It was
music and
round about
basic.
year nine time, isn't it?
That's
Options.
that's that's the one. Yeah. So I probably was
Yeah.
14. Probably right. And basically I ended up. Everyone was like playing their instruments, and I chose to go for a computer program. So
Ah.
I used the computer program, and I added like steel drums, and then
Mm.
I added some vocals, and then I added some. I can't even remember what all the instruments were. I thought it was a load of rubbish. Anyway, so I hand it in, and then one day on, like,
Yeah.
I think it's a Friday, he was like, right, everyone sit down and listen. Something's going to be played, and I was like, what's he going on about? And he played the whole track to the whole class. He sat back in his chair, he closed his eyes, and he just like sunk into it. And I was like, I don't know
That's
why I found.
amazing.
I don't know, yeah, but I don't know why I found it so embarrassing. But at that
I
time, I didn't
think.
know. I didn't know I had no. I didn't know I had a skill. I didn't know.
Mm,
I was
I
just
think.
doing what I wanted to do. And
Mm,
I don't know. Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know how to say it, but I was embarrassed at the time. I just didn't really get it. Like, someone would like something I've done like that.
I feel that, and I think it's because you've made it, isn't it? And it's like, because you made it, you just like, it's like
I
with the
suppose it's
with some of these
personal, isn't it?
interviews.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like with some of these interviews, like my family and friends like to watch, and like, oh, can we watch it with you? I'm like, you can watch it by yourself. I don't really want to. Don't really want to be there. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
completely understand where you're coming from with that. Now, with your band, who are the members of your band?
So it's me, Ben Rooke on vocals, and obviously I write the songs, play a little bit of guitar, but don't like playing it in the band much. That's me. Then
Mm.
Chris plays lead guitar. He can play strings, he can play keys, he can play God knows what else.
It's
And then
practically the
you've got
full package.
yeah, and then you've got Ed. Cesar, who plays rhythm, but he can play almost anything. And then you've got Luke Trundle, who plays bass, but he's very good on guitar.
Mm.
Um, I think it's just guitar and bass with Luke. And
They're
then
very
our
similar,
drummer,
aren't they? Mm.
yeah, and then our drummer, Chris Blackman, and he plays drums, but he's also very good on guitar. So it's a little bit like everyone can do a bit of everything, but they just stick to their strengths. I think that's what it
Yeah.
is.
So you guys are practically just the real deal. You're the, what's the word? The triple threat.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, I've never looked at it like that, but I suppose,
Practically a
yeah.
triple threat. Mm. So with your band, who would you say is the biggest prankster in your band? Do you have like funny jokes that you do? Who would be the biggest winder?
It's probably Luke. It's probably Luke. He's got ADHD and he's just crazy. He just,
Mm.
always joking and always says cringe things to people. If we're doing a sound check for a gig, he's got this thing where he's got to wind the sound guy up, but then by the end of
Oh no.
like just irritate him and prod him and just see like do you know with this and with that. Anyway, and by the end of the night, every time they're best friends. Every
Oh,
time.
that's
And
nice though.
no,
At least,
he's
at
just
least.
yeah, I think he's just that way in nature. That's just the way he is.
Mm.
And he's a lovely guy. He's got a big heart, and they're always best friends at the end of the night. It makes me laugh. And that's why I find it funny. So
Like once again, the triple threat, absolute triple threat.
yeah.
So I know that you guys are going to be performing at the Shine Festival this month, and I already know that you guys are excited. The triple threat are excited. So with all these festivals coming up, how do you actually get the chance to perform at this festival?
So basically, yeah, I've got my good friend Danny. He's the one that does a lot of our radio plugging and stuff, and he used to work for Warner Records actually.
Wow.
Um, it's been quite a few years he hasn't worked there, so he's gone into radio plugging. We've become close friends over the last 3 or 4 years. So he's sort of been booking some more shows for us and stuff now. So
Mm.
yeah, that's how I got into that particular one. And yeah, Saturday the 18th, we're on at 12 p.m. on the Green stage at Shine On Festival.
Nice.
And yeah,
Make sure you be there. Make sure you go and see them.
exactly.
Now, with you guys going to festivals, performing out, I want to know which two artists, dead or alive, would you love to collaborate with?
Um, it'd probably be if it's bands wise, it would be the Doors and it would be the
Mm.
Beatles.
We've
And if
had a
it's
lot of Beatles.
yeah, well, they're
Mm.
probably one of the best.
Iconic.
Yeah, they're probably just one of the best. I know everyone can say who they like. I mean, music's perceptive. You can say whatever you want, really. No one's
Mm.
right, no one's wrong. But the Beatles, yeah, they're one of the
Mm.
best bands for me. And if it was solo, believe it or not, it would be. I'd love to do something with Jim Morrison from the Doors, and if it was
Oh,
solo, the other for anyone else, it would be John Lennon from the Beatles. So
that's fair
basically, yeah,
enough. Mm.
basically it's both ways. It's always the same, really, for me. I think they're great.
Mm. So would you say those two bands kind of influenced you to go into what you want to do?
Definitely, yeah. I think the most influential bands were probably first of all the Beatles, then
Mm.
probably Green Day. I really like Green Day, and then I like Oasis, all the Northern sounds, sort of like Stone Roses, and of the Rolling Stones. The Rolling Stones is probably one of the bigger ones as well. But I
Mm.
like a bit of everything. I like hip hop. I like used to like dance music, but I'm sort of more into guitar music these days.
That's fair enough, yeah.
A bit of everything. I honestly like any genre, reggae, just a bit of everything really.
Yeah.
Literally right across the board.
Mm. And that's a good thing because it shows that you're a proper music head, because music heads will listen to anything. They won't be like, no, I won't listen to that. Every music head will love to listen to absolutely everything, which I love. Which brings me on to my last thing. As an artist and as a creator, what advice would you give to somebody who's trying to break out into this industry, whether they're young, old? What advice would you give them?
Always be yourself. Don't try and act or be anything like before because you feel like you haven't got anything of your own or
Mm.
any sort of ideas of your own. But also don't be scared of sort of like not copying, but don't be scared of playing something that's been a slightly done for. And no ripping off anything, but the truth of the matter
Yeah,
is, nearly everything's been done in music, and it's a
it's
circle and it
true.
goes round and round. So just do
Mm,
your own spin on it and be cool and be yourself, and then
mm,
eat, sleep, you know, dream music because you have to be like that to get anywhere. I think
very
you have to
true.
literally wake up every day of the week and think about it, and then you're probably starting to have the right mindset.
Mm, completely agree. Well, Ben, thank you so much for coming on this today. Do you have any social medias that you'd like to shout out, or do you have any other tour dates that you want to shout out as well?
At the moment, the last gig of the year for us is Shine On Saturday the 18th, which we've mentioned already. And then our Twitter is at Regent Rock Band. Our Instagram is at Regent Rock Band, and our Facebook is at Regent Music Page.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Ben. So it's been another episode of Jude Interviews. It's a goodbye from me, Jude.
And a goodbye from me, Ben.
And remember, if you would like to feature on Jude Interviews, the link is in the bio. I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.